What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing if you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys are longtime viewers, I appreciate the support. So, Gaijin has previously announced that they are adding new AA systems to the game, much more modern ones and possibly even multi-crewed ones like Pantsir or S400 sites. And so that does mean that we're going to be seeing way more advanced AA in top tier ground battles. Now, right now, obviously, one of the strong suits of ground battles are helicopters. Helicopters are really hard to kill if you're in a basic tank. They have long-range missiles, but AAs can counter them fairly easily, minus a couple of the top-tier AA that have an issue. But really, anything like Pantsir or anything modern can absolutely go toe-to-toe with the best helicopters without any issues. Now, I do think it's about time we start talking about a new weapon system for helicopters, and that is fire and forget. Now, this isn't a new concept, as we already have these missiles in game, like this spike. But the issue with those is that they're very slow, and they're only found in a couple nations. Germany has access to them, Israel has access to the paths, France has access to them. So the Tiger helicopters are what get these weapon systems. Now, the US is still stuck with the AGM-114L, which is probably one of the better air-to-ground missiles in the game. It's really, really good when it hits the target. But things like the Vikir, the Russian air-to-ground missile, is faster and also does really, really good damage and has a bit of a longer range. And so it makes the AGM-114 kind of not obsolete, but not the greatest out there, which can get very frustrating. A weapon system like the AGM-114L, which is a AGM-114K that's fire and forget, would be very, very good for the US. Obviously, this would be a weapon system they could get on things like the AH-1 Zulu or the AH-64, the D, and possibly even the Black Hawk, the Pavehawk, or not the Pavehawk, the DAP, the Direct Action Penetrator. That would be the helicopters we could see getting the AGM-114L. As far as Russian missiles go, I'm not sure what they have for fire and forget, if they even use fire and forget missiles. I know they still use the Vikir. Honestly, they'll be okay with just the Vikir. That's already still a great weapon system. I think something like the AGM-114L coming to the game would be very, very nice. I think it could help bring the American helicopters to be a bit more competitive. And like as of right now, the AGM-114 is just not it. The AGM-114B and K, which is what is found on the American helicopters, these are okay missiles. Do not get me wrong. They just are not the best in the game in terms of anything. There's nothing that they do great at. They are very good when they hit the target, but like I said, you're going to be exposed for a lot longer because they're slower, and things like the Russian Vikir are just blatantly better. So that does leave, the option of, obviously, CAS right now is doing very good. But a lot of these great CASs are indeed Russian aircraft. Su-30SM, the Su-34, and then the Ka-52. This is undoubtedly like the best duo in top tier, armed with like one of the best, if not the best, tank in War Thunder right now. It's very hard to deny that. You have a fighter that can carry the same CAS kit as your strike aircraft, but pull out of a completely separate spawn point system with a CAS aircraft that is just blatantly goated with fire and forget. And then as far as, the next best thing would be the French Rafale and maybe the Tiger lineup, but you are stuck with Leclerc's or the Leo 2A6. And the French Tiger is definitely not the best. I made a video on it in the past. I did enjoy it. I did actually really enjoy the spikes. They just don't do a lot of damage. So something like the AGM-114L would be, it would be the best air-to-ground missile in the game. I'm not going to deny that. You would have the fire and forget like the paths and spikes with the power of the AGM-114K or the AGM-114B. So pretty much if it hits, you're going to die. And I think one of the easiest ways to actually balance that out is just very simple. Let them only carry 8. Things like the Zulu, that's not unheard of. Let them only carry 8 of the AGM-114Ls. So that would, it wouldn't be as many as something like the Black Hawk for Israel with the paths, but it would allow them, or with the spikes, it would allow them to obviously not be completely broken, because obviously the Apache can carry up to 16 of the air-to-ground missiles, and I can understand where the issue might be that we don't necessarily want the helicopter, the Apache, and the Zulu and the DAP to carry that many missiles, because yeah, I do understand that. I do think, however, it is a weapon system I think we should see in the game at some point. Obviously not right now. This is a future thing. But when we get new AA systems, it's already fairly hard for helicopters to effectively counter AA, at least in the Americans. It's not, the fire and forget, that can get a little troublesome for the AA. And then the Vikir spam. The Vikir kind of is still really, really good at what it does. Anyways, let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. What are you guys' thoughts on American helicopters in general? Do you guys think we need the new air-to-ground missile, or do you think they're going to be just fine? Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you guys in a later video.